All right, guys. Hello and welcome. It's Liam or Hydrusny here. I have got a really exciting interview for you today. These are the guys that won the last of the Halo Australia Halo 5 Pro League tournaments that we just finished up online. It's quite a story. Coming back after coming second in the first two comps, and then jumping and taking it away for the third. So it's going to be really interesting to touch base with them. I'll go through. You guys should know everybody bar one person on the screen right now. So you've got Kyle or Nemesis, Ryan or Junior, and Tyson or Pips. You've spoken to them before, but we've got a new face down the bottom here. His name is Diva Dan. Do you want to give us a bit of a overview of yourself, Dan?
D for Dan was one of the first guys I played Halo with, so just for that. What's that overview, mate? We all play Halo. We all shoot guns. We all play in tourneys.
Yeah. Some of us do it better than others. And I'd say you're one of the people that do it the best. So give us a quick background on some of your competing and stuff.
Started competing in like 2015 in H2A. Junior was my first teammate, funnily enough. Good old Nuke and Pave with Rabbi and Manus. And then, you want to tell that story, Junior? You want to tell them what happened after that?
Well, Dan was just another young kid with a bad attitude, and Rabbi and myself decided to drop one of the best up-and-coming players that Australia would see.
And what happened at LAN?
And then Rattles, Royal Fan, Seduce, and help me out.
Purple Haze.
Purple Haze took down my own team on LAN, and we ate our own words.
There you go. Well, it's been a turbulent thing, but it's a turbulent run you guys have had, but you're back together and taking some W's, so that's what's most important. Give me the rundown, because obviously there's a missing member from the team, and Dan Seduce has taken his spot. So Benno left, and from my understanding, he kind of decided to play with guys that he was just going to have more fun. He just wanted to have fun and just relax and not focus so much on the last one. But is that what happened? Give me the goss. How did it kind of go down?
Yeah, I think it was right after the Halo 3 tournament that Benno and his team won. We were just kind of chatting and saying like we're ready to scrim Halo 5 whenever, and he just told us he was gonna start playing with them in Halo 5. So left us trying to figure out what we were going to do. And I think Dan is the first one we hit up, because back when these tournaments started, he was actually on our team, but he decided to take a break. So we just tried hitting him up, and he agreed.
Yeah.
I don't think there was any bad blood or anything. I think Benno does feel like more of a natural chemistry with his old teammates. So who knows the actual reason? He didn't really give us a reason, but yeah, so keep in touch.
Yeah, I can't imagine there would be any bad blood. Benno's a great guy from what I can tell, and obviously this worked out for you guys. So, Dan, what was it like when you got the message? What did you think? Because obviously you actually, from what I understand, brought the team together initially at the start, and then you had one of your diva moments, chucked the Xbox out, and decided, all right, that's it, no more Halo. Which in the time I've known you, which is probably about a year, you've gone in and out of playing and competing and not playing, competing 400 times.
Story of my Halo career, just going in and out.
So yeah, but what was it like for you? Who hit you up? How do you remember it going down?
Well, first of all, I stopped. Like, I think we played once when we were a full team, like without Pip, and then I decided like I didn't want to invest 2 months like playing nonstop, you know. But I could justify playing for 2 weeks when Pip hit me up. He said, well, I saw Voltage made a tweet like, what was it, a few weeks ago before that he got a new Xbox. So we're like, oh, here we go. Like, there goes Benno. So we're waiting for it to happen. But once he left, then I didn't think I'd get hit up or anything. But once he hit me up, originally I said no. And then he went on to ask Momo. And then within like the 5 or 10 minutes that he was hitting up Momo, I was like, it's only 2 weeks. Like, I may as well burn these 2 weeks. So jumped at it and just had some fun.
Yeah, awesome. I guess that's a perfect lead into my next question, because you said you didn't want to invest the 2 months worth of time into competing. And I think this is really important for people to understand, because there's a big difference between obviously the practicing and everything that went down for the first few games, and then a change that happened, and you took the win away. So, what did it look like between Dan coming on the team? Maybe Pips, maybe you can answer this one for me. What was the difference from Dan coming onto the team as far as practice? What changed? Was it just the hours that you put in? Was it how you practiced? What was the most notable difference?
We definitely put a lot more time into like those 2 weeks. Like we tried to play every day, even if they were like against lesser teams. Like people we would blow out sometimes we wouldn't play, but when we had Dan, we knew we had to try and repetitions in. We played them anyway, and then Dan's pretty good like leader. He's always saying what we need to improve on and shit. So just brought like a different element into it.
Well, just to add on to that,
Yeah.
like everyone went all in on that. Like everyone put in the effort, so it was really a team effort that we all just decided like we've got 2 weeks until the next comp. Like let's just go 110%, and that's why I couldn't invest the 2 months, because if I'm gonna compete, I said to Madzi once, like I don't play to make numbers, you know, like I play to win. So if you want to win, like you have to put in the time. So
Yeah.
if you're gonna do that for 2 months, you literally have to be on like every night, just about, give or take like a couple nights here and there. But for a couple weeks, you know, we just decided like we can do this, like all of us can invest the time every night. So we just went all in on it, and everyone put in the effort, whether it was running around in custom games or watching theater, scrimming, like playing arena. We literally did anything we could that was productive on the game when we were all on, or even when one of us was on, we were trying to improve.
Yeah, excellent. And like for everybody that's watching that wants to know how you can step up into future teams, you just watch what the best teams are doing right now. And I think that's a great example. What these guys did and what Dan just said is they all put the time in. They were all like-minded, and that's the synergy that creates is obviously a winning vibe. But it also takes the risk of losing out. You know, like the more time and the better that you get, the more scenarios you put yourself out there to, and then when you get in front of other people to play those scenarios, you've done it 100 times already. So
you also feel better if you lose, you know, like at least you can say to yourself that you've put in all the effort that you possibly could have. You know, you didn't leave it on the table. You went out there and you actually, like, you know, put in the effort and the grind, and it pays off. And even if it doesn't pay off, at least you can pat yourself on the back and say, like, we know how we could have played, you know.
Yeah, did the best job. And okay, throughout the competition, Ryan, what was your highlight game? What did you reckon was the one that you played the best in?
That's an obvious question. I mean, Plaza Stronghold's the first game of the.
Really? I thought you were going to say Collie Flag at the end. You got the re for us. You ran the flag for us.
No, definitely the Plaza Strongholds game. Even when, you know, we're making some bad plays or misplays here and there, I was able to just keep composure and just keep getting like really, really relevant kills, especially on the bottom mid hill with the shotgun dropping down from top mid. Those, I don't know, just those constant kills throughout the game just kind of set the pace for the rest of the series, and it just felt good being able to predict all the plays that they were making and kind of do that next level team play and just back up out of areas, reconnect with teammates, and make good pushes together. But yeah, I think I went 27 and 12 with a lot of assists, and I was playing the objective pretty well as well. So that was my favorite game.
Well, that's such a contrast from the first time that you guys played Plaza Strongholds against them. I think was that 100-0 or was that on?
Yeah, it was actually.
I reckon it was 100-0.
It was 100-0 in Plaza, first game of the finals when we had Benno.
I think no matter at what stage of your career you're in, you need to like really take note of your weaknesses. And if I think right back to the day where Seduce used to play with me and Rabbi and Mantis or Armada or whoever it was, on maps like Warlock Bomb in H2A, Dan was always that guy running the bomb. Like me and Rabbi were just trying to slay the enemy, and I guess I never really learned the objective side of things. So just over the last month, I've been trying to retrain my brain into Flag and Strongholds, how to actually take advantage of the objective properly again. Easy to forget. Like back at regionals when I qualified for Worlds, I knew a lot more than what I did. Just I had to refresh my brain in it, and that's what helped when Dan came back. Is probably more so when Dan was there, as we really hammered into the objective efficiency on all the maps. So yeah, that was really good.
Yeah, well, Dan and I spoke about this ages ago, but I think one of the really simple things that people forget when they're playing Halo is that you're trying to win. So what do you need to do to win? If you've got to capture 3 flags, that's how simple it is. So, if you can get 4 down, you can pull a flag, you can keep them off their spawns, and you capture a flag. It's that simple. Really good example of that is one of the Truth Capture the Flag games. I think you guys did it in 2 minutes. It's like 2 minutes, 30 seconds or something. It wasn't in the finals, but it was coming through. It was one of the quickest capture the flag games I've ever seen. And it was just objective efficiency, slaying efficiency. I wish I could have been in the comms and heard you guys talking the whole time, because it was just, there was so much more purpose in the way that you were playing, in that you knew what you were doing, and putting the actions into place. So I think I think you're right. It's good to have a bit more of a focus on the objective side of things, because Slayer is still an objective game type. Your objective is just to get 50 kills rather than to capture a flag or hold hills or anything like that. So yeah, that's really good to hear. Kyle, for yourself, was there a standout moment?
The one that just pops to mind is like right after the last game. It was just so funny
That's exactly
because
what I was
we were all
thinking.
right. We all started celebrating, and then we just hear Junior like, "Wait, did we win?" And we're like, "Yeah." And then he just started freaking out.
He howled,
It
bro.
was
He was
hilarious.
I think I've
Let
made
out
that a
all
thing in
that.
every tournament.
Yeah, he just let out all that emotions that we've been holding in the last 2 tournaments, and it was just hilarious.
Yeah, awesome. Well, it meant a lot more for you, Junior, because wasn't it a goal that you set specifically?
Yeah, I mean, I like to set realistic goals. We just came back in the first 2 tournaments to be able to win those. That's probably a little bit, pushing it. So, as I do with most of like my tournaments, I try and set a goal and work towards it, because that's what practice is. So yeah, I guess the reason I didn't know that we won is the same reason. I don't know. I just do it at every single tournament. At regionals, when our team won, I think I couldn't believe it. It was definitely a delayed reaction. And then in the free for all, when I won that, I didn't even know. I thought I had to play another game, so there was a delayed reaction there. And then when I won the Lynx Legends tournament, the same thing happened. And there's a reason for it, and I actually do it when I used to play basketball as well. In like a tight situation where it's pressured, I just don't think about the score. I just focus on exactly what I'm doing in that second. And I think when I was younger, I used to focus more on the series score, like it's it's 2-2.
Yeah.
If we lose this game, we're out of it, and you just put so much pressure on yourself. So I just ignore the series score altogether and just focus on one footstep at a time, one decision at a time in the game, and that's what makes me perform in those tight spots, I guess.
Yeah. Well, hey, that's an awesome skill to have, because I know that when I was swimming, we used to do entire sessions that were focused around the psychology of competing, and everybody was meant to have their own way to kind of prepare for competition. And I used only in the finals, so only in the most important race of the year. I used to stand behind the blocks. And I used to draw these big imaginary, like, on a stage, red curtains that come across the stage,
Yeah.
like an old school play. In my head, I used to draw these big red curtains the whole way down my lane, and just imagine that it was just that lane was my like stage to get out there and show what I'd been training
Have you
for.
seen that?
All year.
Have you seen that picture of Michael Phelps where like the guy's looking over at him?
Yeah, that's funny. I actually know Chad Licois. That's the guy that's looking over at him, and it says winners focus on winning and losers focus on winners or something. But the funny thing about that picture is that Chad, that's his technique. He breathes to the side, like a lot of people breathe like that in butterfly. So not
way to ruin it for us.
Yeah, well, I just feel like I have to defend Chad because he's a winner. He's that guy's a machine. He trains so hard. He's been through a lot. So, but yeah, no, it's a good image as far as motivation goes. So that's good. All right, moving forward, guys. Dan, I guess it's a question for you. I know the answer, but I think I know the answer anyway. Do you see yourself being able to compete between now and Infinite?
What do you mean till now and Infinite? What's happening between now and Infinite?
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess now, yeah, I guess now's as good as any time. By the time that this video is up, I'll have announced it. So you guys can be the first to know live outside of the guys from Halo Australia who, any opportunity, I've got to thank them so much. Lunchy especially has just been, he's been such a big support. We spoke on the phone yesterday, a few days ago now, for 2 hours while I was at work, and just he was just giving me advice and just helping me think a little bit clearer about stuff that they did when they were starting out. And it was all really good advice. I mean, Fred and I have got the business experience, but we don't understand things like how the Halo community works, and we don't understand people's mindsets. And I think because they've been doing it a lot longer. So I just have to give a quick shout out to Halo Australia and in particular Lunchy, because the events coming forward now wouldn't have been possible even without their help in getting it started. So without further ado, we have coming up 2 separate free-for-all competitions. One is the prize money for both is $500, and there's going to be a free-for-all that is international. So Australian, New Zealand, everyone can join it, but it's also going to be open to the rest of the community. From what we've been doing with the other communities around the world, it's only, I think, so opportunity to compete for and with Divine Mind. The second one is just for Halo Australia, just for the Australian guys, just to show that obviously we care most about our Halo Australian guys. It's the same amount of prize money, and it's just for the Australians. So I think everybody will be happy for that. Off the back.
All right, guys, I gave away way too much here, so there's a few points where I had to kind of delete it out.
Everyone will have something to compete in. What was I going to say? Yeah, that's pretty much that. Can you see yourself competing in any of the free-for-alls or anything? Can you go, all of you guys?
I could probably show up for the day if it's just a one-day thing. Like, it's more the team commitment that makes competing difficult, you know? Like, it's not just your time, it's also other people's time, like the other 3 guys on your team. Where a free-for-all or a 1v1 or whatever, it's all up to you. Like, you can just show up on the day, or you can practice as much as you want for it and show up. So maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Okay. Who's from you guys, like, hearing free-for-all, who do you reckon's the standout? I know Barcode had a lot of hype around some of the victories that he had a while ago for free-for-all, but is there anyone that you reckon is like the free-for-all GOAT in Australia that stands out?
Junior hasn't been dethroned yet. He's 2018 FFA land champ.
Oh, there you
Can't
go.
take that away from him.
Land champ.
You can't take the title away from him until it's actually taken away.
On LAN, I'd like to say.
On LAN, yeah.
That's a really
Definitely
good
a
fun.
few like it'd be good to see some of the old players come back. I remember when the game first
Ads
came
was
out.
good, eh?
Yeah, Ads
Yeah.
was good with the Storm Rifle in Pink too. So Benno's always been good. Seducer's always been good. But yeah, it'll be good to compete against some of the young guns that are out there. I didn't actually hear. Did you say they're all Halo 5 or?
Both the free-for-alls are Halo 5. So I'm excited to bring these. We're actually going to be running them independently as well. So it's going to be a really big learning curve for Fred and myself, mainly myself. Fred has been working really hard behind the scenes to make sure that we can have the funding and a few other things going on with some merch. And there's a lot of work that goes into this, and it's a heap of fun, but it's a constant learning curve for us. So we just have to, we're currently learning how to structure our time best to make sure that we're getting the best results. But I feel like we're having fun doing it at the moment, and I've met some really great people in other communities, and obviously doing these interviews with you guys and with the other players has been awesome. So we're going to continue putting out some content, hopefully interviews with the free-for-all players and everything like that. So hopefully I can see all of you guys competing in that. Did you guys have any questions around those or anything like that you wanted to ask before I move on?
Wanted to say that I fixed the camera. All you have to do is drag it in, and you can see everyone. Although I can't see Junior and Kyle, but I can see your beautiful shirt, Liam. So
there you go. Thanks. Yeah.
No, that all sounds awesome. Good luck to you guys learning how to run all these tournaments.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be too hard. We're going to use challenge, and I ran a few draft events just on. It's super easy. I can't imagine that it's going to be too difficult. Unless, and then we're going to have Discord, which we haven't had yet, but that's going to be, it's all set up and ready to go. So after everyone that is watching this now, if you want to be a part of the free-for-all, have a chance at winning $500 prize money, or you're part of it, you can jump into the Discord. There'll be a link in the description to the video, and you can jump in and make sure that you're a part of the community. Jump onto the link in there and register. And then start practicing. We'll host a few practice lobbies as well, so everybody can get in some I guess experience beforehand. Because the free for all, we want everybody from all skill levels to join this. But I would strongly suggest to anybody in the Australian Halo community, especially if they have a goal to be somebody that's leading the way in Infinite, to be a part of that and to just follow along with the opportunity to become a leader and take someone else under their wing. But there's also going to be that opportunity there for you to step up and become a leader in the community by helping grow the community and helping motivate some players, because that was something that we lacked in the 4v4. I think anyway. We had
I love that stuff.
We had a number of teams that hello cat. we had a number of teams join that got absolutely destroyed and just super not motivated to play anymore. Like I got the first comp was the funniest by far. I think I got maybe 7 or 8 messages from people on different teams that had never played and didn't realize the quality of player that we had in Australia, that said people were cheating. They're cheating. They're not from Australia. Just every excuse in the world. And I just said, it's a pro league. Like, you're legitimately versing some of the best players in the world. It didn't help that their first games were against A1 and you guys and that type of thing. I think A1 actually has Slayer game where they went 50-0, so the other team didn't even get a single.
That's rough.
Yeah, so
that's rough.
so yeah, some of the stuff that we're going to do now between now and the next set of announcements, which will be around September, are going to be more focused on helping to do that and build that community, but at the same time still providing everybody with opportunities to be a pro player and to really go balls to the wall and practice and scrim and do whatever they want to do. So I'm excited to see what happens with it. We have a few other little things that are going on as well. I may as well shout it out. So if anyone's watching this, there is a July 15th, I believe, infection competition with the infection community. That's a cool little thing. So if anyone's watching this and loves a little bit of a chill out playing some infection, you can always sign up to that with the Infection Hub guys. We've got our Instagram montage competition, which we do as a monthly thing now. 60 seconds, put some clips together. We changed the way that the voting works after this month. It's likes will be considered, but it's overall going to be like an honor system where we'll choose what we think is the best montage, as well as giving away some slightly less prizes, but still some prizes for the best clips and the best quality of editing, because we want, again, to bring the community together, and just because you've got the largest following isn't specifically the best way to win that. So there's also going to be a few things that you should check out. I'd love to make sure that we can shout out Halo Europa. Those guys are doing an amazing work. They just ran a free-for-all frenzy, had 80 players signed up to it. I'd love to see if we can beat that 80 players for our international competition. I'd love to see how close we can get just within Australia as well. They've been doing, again, a heap of work in helping us get on our feet. And the guys from Greater Toronto Halo as well, they have just been outstanding with the amount of work they've done. They've connected us with the Microsoft stores in Australia as well, and the community managers as well. So, it's been really fantastic working with some people that have got more experience in the industry than I do. So just wanted to give them a quick shout out. Before we finish up something like this in the last interview, but I just want to go through some quick questions, probably go through something different for each of you, but it won't be anything too serious. So Ryan or Junior, if you had to choose between Overshield or Invis, which do you prefer picking up?
I definitely prefer Camouflage, which is interesting because I usually play for Overshield on our team. I just feel like with Camouflage, you can run around the map, grab the plasma pistol, you can pick up plasma grenades, and you can easily stick the Overshield guy. And then with the Overshield guy, you run around and risk getting sassed because you can't see the other guy.
Yeah, you can't see the Invis guy. All right. Nemesis, out of every game, what's the favorite map that you enjoy playing?
I would say it would have to be some variation of like midship or like those kind of maps like Truth. I just like the symmetrical maps because it all comes down to teamwork and strategy, and it's not based off like little advantages different like teams have based on the map.
So that's why you got 28 kills or whatever you got in the tournament on that Truth map. You remember that game?
It's a
No, I don't. Which one?
That whole
Too
weekend's
easy.
a blur, bro.
too easy for him. He'll
pointed it out.
drop 30
okay,
kills in competition and completely forget about it. So it shows the quality of player that he is. Did you guys win the game?
Hope
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Against-
Well,
That
there
was
you
the
go.
first truth game, I
Yeah.
think.
There you go. Yeah, Pips, favorite from old school, let's say maybe like Halo 2, Halo 3, favorite pro player that you can remember watching.
Favorite pro. I'd probably have to say either Snipe Down or Ola.
Yeah, cool. I
Yeah.
think Ola was probably one of my favorites as well. I just loved he
Yeah.
was like the epitome of like a Halo 3 player back in the day. I remember looking at him and just being like, that is
Yeah, I just
And
remember
he had the
watching
cool
Snipe
hair
Down's
and shit.
montage and then the straight ripping montage, and I was just like, God damn, this guy's a freak.
yeah, so good. All right, well, thanks everybody. I'm not going to ask Dan. No, I'm only kidding. Dan, for yourself, I was curious coming into Infinite starting weapon. So do you think BR, Magnum, assault rifle, plasma pistol,
Mm,
root shot, rockets, sniper? What do you reckon is going to be the go? What would you
for
like to see?
competitive, you mean?
Yeah.
Shit, that's hard. It's between the pistol and the BR, but I don't know. I reckon they're gonna try to take a step backwards in a sense of like pleasing the community. So I think they might go BR, but it'll be tuned. Like it'll be different to like the normal BR that we're used to.
Yeah. Well, I hope so anyway, because why use the BR at the moment? You know what I mean? Compared to
If you're
Yeah,
out of
VR
ammo.
right now is not too great.
yeah. All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining me again. I really appreciate the time. If you made it through to this point of the interview, it is just gone 6:20 a.m. for me here. I've been up since 4 o'clock to make sure we could get these guys together. It's late for them as well. So please leave a like, leave a comment, help support the community, but also help support us to make sure that we can continue to bring events. Make sure to sign up for the free-for-all competition. Make sure to have a look at all the stuff that we're doing. Join the Discord. If anybody that is watching this has any questions or wants to be involved with us in any business way as a sponsor or help run events or anything like that, also just hit us up. You can even do that just by sending us a tweet at DivineMindAU, and we'll do our best to make sure that we can connect with you guys. Before finishing up, any questions, anything else you guys want to chat through?
All good.
Good.
Not for me.
Amazing, guys. I'm going to stop the recording there, but we'll have a little bit more of a chat. Cool. Thanks, guys, for coming in.